Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful leg out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg of believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. I want to get into today, deal with, a few articles dealing with what's going on, because we're in the time now where, this place is collapsing, but there's an illusion as if the things that are happening are normal. No, okay, the earth is finna go, into the hardest times that has ever been, as the scriptures speak on, okay? And when you read 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 20, it says, so I considered the world, this society, and behold, there was peril, which is evil or dangerous times, because of the devices that were coming to it. Yeah, there's wicked devices being forwarded through Esau Edom. Okay, the famine is an engineered famine. Okay, these pestilence are engineered pestilence, man. A lot of these crises, that we see happening, are done, purposely by Esau Edom, which is ordained for him to do so, and it's commanded for him to do so according to prophecy, man. Okay, we have to understand that Esau is just a tool, of evil that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua utilizes, man, until he's removed out of the way. Okay, and we're seeing the build up to the worst time ever. Okay, and people move as if these are regular times. Now, let's get a few articles. I saved a few things. Okay. Get this article here. And this from Tyranny News. And it says, looming, food shortages are not an accident. They are part of a planned globalist reset table, reset the table initiative. It says, right on time, the globalist plan for a great reset is now unfolding in real time. And just to be clear, all of it was laid out and planned years ago, meaning all of it's by design. Many people missed it by the Rockefeller Foundation, but the Rockefeller Foundation told us several years back that there was a coming food crisis that would reset the table, and as they constantly go into these meetings, everybody has their marching orders, man, because the elites, these elite bankers have, they're in full control of all these different sectors of society, man. Pharmaceutical, military, food, agriculture. They're over all these things, man. The gas prices, the energy sector, they're over all these things, man. And this is the design, collapse, for a reset. Now, let's go from there. Read a couple of more. Let me see. I wanted to get this. Now you have a new sickness, that's supposed to be on the scene. It says, who declares, new outbreak? It says the World Health Organization is sounding the alarm over a new outbreak after 2 cases of the Marburg, the MB all right, have been reported in Ghana. Okay, and you'll notice what Jake is marking the first time the deadly Ebola-like sickness has been found in the West African nation, and only the second time it has been seen, okay, in the region. In an article published on Sunday, okay, the Owl says that blood samples taken from 2 people last month in the southern Ashanti region of Ghana suggested that they both had the MB. He said both of the patients had symptoms such as diarrhea, fever, nausea, and vomiting, and died within a day of being admitted to the hospital in late June. One of the patients was 26 years old and the other 51. Okay, now it's saying that if this here is gonna be more deadlier, man, probably gonna be more contagious. Okay, so we just reading these things and going into it and just, watching. Okay, we're watching, man. We don't know if it's something that's gonna fizzle out or it's gonna cause another, global, all right, frenzy. Okay, but we watch and keep up with this thing, man. So they have a new sickness on the market. Okay, and they're pushing it as if it's just extremely deadly, man. Okay, but we're in these times where these things were spoken of, man. Let's go to Matthew 21. All right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 21. That was Matthew 24. All right, this is the book of Matthew 24. Okay. And Yahushua is giving signs of the end. And it says, Matthew 24:6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we're constantly hearing rumors of wars. Okay. You got Putin, just met with Iran. He's in Tehran now. Okay. Dealing the anti-West alliance, with all the nations, that have, alt, with the West, man. Okay, the EU and America, man. Okay, so you have that forming up. You have, rumors that Iran is supposed to sell drones to Russia, because Iran, has high-tech drone technology, man. Okay, so they're supposed to be selling drones, to Russia to help Russia combat, the EU. Okay, so all we're hearing is wars and rumors of wars. Verse 7 says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, man. And we're seeing, a rise in pestilence, man. We're seeing a rise in earthquakes. We're seeing uproars of the people, man. Okay, we're seeing these things, man. So everything that was prophesied to be happening, all the signs are happening at the same time. Okay, and what is going to lead to? This is Matthew 24 and 21. It says, for there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. So we're coming upon the worst time ever, and we're watching the build up, man. Okay, because all you're hearing about is pestilence, shortage, increase, a mass shooting here, a mass shooting there. Okay, that's all we're hearing about, man. All right, so let's go on. See, you got anything else? All right, I got a video I want to go into. Okay, and he's pretty much going into, what's happening, with middle class America. Oh, that's not it. Okay, it's in here. Yep. So I'm gonna let this play. Okay, and Edomite, because Edomite is going berserk, man. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play, and we'll go from there.
Okay, everybody, it's me. I'm laughing. Oh my God. I shouldn't be laughing, but I am. Monday, July 18th, 2022. People, this is my post-market wrap-up today. Where do I start? When you and I are existing in a world where nothing makes sense, it's really difficult sometimes just to kind of get a grip on reality. But reality is this here. We got some abysmal, more absolutely freaking hideous economic news, and that ended up hitting the market today. I think the biggest story today that hit the market, which was off to the races earlier. Did you see that? I mean, the Dow was up over 350 points. We erased all that, finished negative about 200 and change with regard to the Dow. All three major indices lower. But the big story, I believe, at least there's a few facets to this that really hit the market today, was the fact that more and more big businesses are saying, you know what, we're going to be cutting back on spending, and we're going to be slowing down hiring. As a matter of fact, we might be letting people go. Well, the market didn't like to hear that. Look, anybody who does not understand, well, what's going on, that is our economy globally, it's done, it's finished, and it's cratering at its fastest pace ever in history. You got to be completely deaf, dumb, and blind. What are people doing? You think, look, they're all out there, they're going out to eat and going to restaurants and they're buying clothes. Meanwhile, what's going on here? We're going to touch on some of that economic news in just a moment. They're burying themselves in debt. They're literally dancing themselves into destitution. And they're smiling while they are doing it. What a concept. Wow. Let's stick to the market real quick. Then I want to cover some of this economic news. So a pretty substantial turnaround here in the market, despite, unlimited bond buying by central banks. Look, it's not, in my view, really, no amount of stimulus, whether you want to call it quantitative easing or quantitative whatever, is going to help here. The underlying issue is very, very simple. It's kind of just over, okay? The meltdown of 2008, I was the first guy to come out and say what I'm about to tell you. Other people have used this, and that's okay, they're allowed to. But I said that was the party over moment. And everything since that time has been like heroin, like stimulus being pumped into the market, completely fleecing, the middle class, destroying them by design, and people, again, smiling and laughing their way into destitution. And that's where they are right now in this global economy. We haven't seen a damn thing yet. Do you realize that the S&P 500 is barely in bear market territory? We're in bear market territory, out of bear market territory, in and out. There's no connection at all between what the stock market is doing and the economy. If these things were to actually, reach parity, the stock market would be nowhere near where it is. I mean, not even close. But again, it's the illusion here that everything is fine and people are prosperous and they're all rich. Let's talk about some of the economic news that we got. So we already understand that. I'm laughing. I hate laughing about this.
So the stock market has nothing to do, okay, with the economy, okay? The stock market doesn't reflect the condition of the economy. They can manipulate the stock market to make it, pretty much to prop it up as if the economy is good. And people see this not knowing how economy works, okay? And they think themselves to be in a good case, not understanding what's looming, okay? But you go to the scriptures, let's get some scriptures real quick. We'll go back to the video You know, people are moving as if, you know, nothing is happening, man. Like it's all good, man. Okay? But we're on the brink of the worst disaster ever. Okay? In any type of way, economically, violence, okay? On the spiritual level, man, enchantments and, you know, apparitions, man, it's finna go down. Okay? Starvation, things, it's finna go down in a major way. This is gonna be the worst famine to hit the earth ever. Okay? It's gonna be the most violent that the earth has ever been, ever. People are gonna be impoverished worse than they ever been, ever. Okay? This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. Alright? Verse 19. Matter of fact, I started at 17. It says, woe is me, and this is Ezra speaking. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Okay? Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Okay? It's coming, man. Hey, just like that train is coming, man. Okay? Prophecy is coming on down the tracks, man. Alright? It said the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And we're in the beginning of these things, man. We're in the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, and this is where we're at, man, because it's going to increase. Okay? It's going to increase to the worst time ever. What shall I do then? Okay, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. Okay? But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Yeah, people, you know, they go through hardships, okay? Because we're in the beginning of these things, okay? It's a light famine. It's light hardships. And people go through things and kind of bounce back a little bit, and no one is being mindful that this is happening because of the behavior of the earth, because of the condition of the earth. No one is being mindful of that. Okay? So as soon as people get any type of relief, they go right back to their pride, to their wickedness. Okay? It says, behold, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay? Because the more things get chaotic, the more confused people are going to be. Because people still believe in government. People still believe that they're entitled to eat every day. That you know, they're entitled to some type of security and safety and, you know, protection. People are entitled. So when those things are not happening, okay, people have in their mind that they're going to be working these jobs for the next 10, 20, 50 years, getting retirements and going on trips. They think these things are going to be happening, man. Okay? But when these things stop suddenly and it gets very chaotic real quick, people are going to go into deep confusion, man, because they thought themselves in a good case. Okay? Let's go back to the video.
Because it's just pathetic. But the truth of the matter is, look, both small and large businesses, what have they been doing? They've been passing on increasing costs to you and me, all right? They don't want to be willing to accept any kind of cuts with regard to executive pay. So what they're going to do instead here is cut back on spending, just like we found out today, and probably be slowing down hiring, or maybe even firing people, letting them go, letting them just frolic off into the wilderness. You know, because again, look, the big wigs here, they need to keep their, you know, multi-million-dollar paychecks and stock options worth probably many times that. So that's the way it's going to go here, because the economy is done. It's finished. It's over. And they're going to try to convince you that what you're seeing is not real. So let's talk about some more economic news. So home builder sentiment crashes, literally. The service sector is the backbone of the U.S. economy. Well, it went negative. Negative. How's that? And here's another nice piece of information for you. So 75% of middle income earning families, we're talking about between $30,000 and $100,000, are saying they are falling behind. So 75% of middle earners here are saying, hey, we can't cope here, but what we're going to do instead is continue to borrow and then borrow some more. People are falling into a trapdoor that's been set for them by central banks who are the real government. And then they have their fake government, retarded presidents and whatever else is going on here. World leaders, none of them lead a damn thing. They're leading us into slavery on a massive scale, doing what they're told by central banks who are the governing body of the world. Okay, once you understand that it's the central banks that are the governing body of the world and everything else is just a shit show, you're going to be a lot better off until you can get that through your head. Seriously. So how does this sound to you when you hear, 75% of middle earners here, $30,000 to $100,000 a year, these people can't get by. They can't make it. That's 75%. I don't think that sounds pretty good to me. It sounds to me like an economy that's in free fall by their own words. They've already admitted to us that our economy is contracting, but no, we're doing so well. It's fantastic and it's tremendous, and you know it is. Anyway, let's just go back to the market real quick. So on the back of this turnaround here, as markets sold off on the back of the economic news I just covered for you, you got a 10-year yield still around under 3%. Bitcoin around 21,500, gold and silver at the flat line here. Crude oil and natural gas. Are you watching crude oil and natural gas? Well, how about natural gas took off by about almost 6.5% today, and crude oil over 4%. But everything is just great. You know it is, because that's what they're fist feeding you. Make it up, people. Make any of this stuff up. It's impossible to do. Look, don't lose sight. Honestly, and I don't believe this is you, honestly. If you follow this blog, I'd be willing to bet you don't even watch the mainstream propaganda ministry, because it's all lies. Imagine living in an environment where there's a mind-controlling device in probably most households that once you turn it on, all that comes at you is lies, bigger lies, and even bigger lies than that. Imagine, people are being programmed, henceforth why these are called programs, into believing things that are totally 100% false. They push their narrative via the mainstream outlets, and people sit there and they suck it up. Oh, that must be true, because they say, I love that person, it's so good and handsome. Oh, she's so freaking hot. She must be telling the truth. He must be telling me the truth too. How about no? All of it is scripted. You know that. Turn it off. Use your own intellect. Use your own mind. Look, the truth is always hidden in plain sight. How many times have we covered this? And they tell you what the truth is. Home builder sentiment crashes. Service sector activity goes negative. 75% of middle income earners say they're falling behind. They're telling you what the truth is, but then, oh no, what we just said, oh, that's not true at all. Everyone is great. We're all doing absolutely fantastic. Do you realize that when you're watching those commentators out there on the mainstream media, they're all millionaires. They're all freaking millionaires. And do you think they connect with the person making $30,000 to $100,000 a year? How about in no way, freaking shape, or form does that happen? But again, they're out there telling you the truth. Listen to them. Oh, absolutely, the propaganda ministries. That sound familiar to you? Well, it really should. This is the same story, people, that we have seen since the beginning of time. This is how the few have managed to control the many for an eon, however.
Through. And basically, okay, your governments are setting people up for failure. And that's why you see, all right, these governors, all right, these leaders and these prime ministers and presidents resigning and getting the hell out of Dodge, because they know what they set you up for, man. You know, Lord, I could do a quick lesson on that. Now, let's get this, okay? Because you jakes who love to trust in this society and this system, and you know, you just out here not knowing what the hell going on, okay? You just here in the earth existing, all right? You're gonna be through. Okay, now this is Isaiah 30:8. It says, "Now go write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever." And the scripture lets us know, okay, that our people, okay, the Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also the Israelite foreigners who look like other nations, but the mass majority are very stiff-necked, and they eat up everything that's fed to them, okay, in this man's media, okay, but they reject the truth of the Bible, okay, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord, would say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And they want to hear that the economy is doing greater than ever. This is the time to get rich on crypto, and this is the time to start a business, and this is the time to buy a house, and we can, you know, take advantage of this crisis, and we can do this, and the black dollar and the black economy, black girl magic, okay, all this madness that our people are into, okay, but the reality of it is, man, it's finna get real bad, man. And there's a time coined just for you tribes, man, called Jacob Trouble, okay, where you're going to be the target, okay, of Esau's, all right, slaughterhouse, man, okay. Verse 11 says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, which means you depend on this. You depend on the news for your next instructions on what to do. You depend on this plantation Christianity on what to do next. You depend on this man's science on what to do next, man. Okay? The thing that has been oppressing you your whole existence, all right, you trust in it, man. Okay? It said, therefore the iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out on a high wall, whose breaketh coming suddenly at an instant, man. This thing is going to explode. Okay? Famine gonna hit quick and hard, man. Okay? Poverty gonna hit quick and hard, man. Violence is gonna hit quick and hard, man. It's gonna be at an instant, man. And we're in the build up to that, man. So we just watch these things, monitor these things in the spirit and report it. Okay? So Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified till the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala Bible Ball DTA soon.